Hey Jennifer, so I'm going to go over your consultation questionnaire, and this is how I relay everything over to my clients when I do training modules or if I do assessments for the week or questionnaires, whatever it is. I do a video voiceover and go through it. So each question, I'm going to go over and talk about a few things related to training and your lifestyle and goals, etc. So your daily energy expenditure is a huge thing that a lot of people don't realize. So if you have a pretty sedentary lifestyle with your job and then after work when you come home, overall that means you don't really have a lot of movement. And a lot of people are like that. Their lifestyle is pretty sedentary. So even if your job isn't very active, which a lot of people's aren't, a lot of people do have desk jobs and they're not very active. The main thing we want to do when we come home on a weekly basis is we want to up our daily energy expenditure, meaning we want to hit at least 6,000 steps a day. So that just means your body is more active, you're burning more calories, you're changing your body composition overall, and every day counts. So in your overall week, you want to try to hit at least 6,000 steps in an entire day. So even if you're walking in circles or you walk to the mailbox 5 more times to get in that extra 1,000 steps, that means you're hitting your goal and that you are more active, which makes a huge difference. A lot of people think it's just your workouts or just this or that, but really your daily movement and energy expenditure is one of the main things with your body composition and fat loss. So let's keep going. Okay, so with your joints and your feet and your knees hurting, let me know if that is related to any past injury or if you do any running that could be the reason why. A lot of people like to run and it is very high impact. So a lot of people do experience knee pain and injuries from it. So let me know if it is or isn't related to running or a past injury. Okay, so it's super good that you don't smoke cigarettes and you seem very ready. At some point, people have gone through so many diets and tried this and that, and they are just really ready to do things a different way in the right way. So let's see. So I think it sounds like you're ready, which is good. Some people aren't ready and they need just more time to try other things and really get out of their own way and commit. And sometimes it takes people a long time. So it's good that you seem like you're at that place to really commit and begin. Okay. So yes, the overall goal is fat loss. Our body composition means muscle versus fat, along with all of the other things like organ tissue, etc. But overall, our body composition means our body fat versus muscle. Our goal for anybody is to reverse that. You want to have more muscle than body fat as opposed to having more fat on your body and little muscle. So when we start to train, the goal is to build muscle. So there's going to be different phases that our exercise is different, our macros are different. Nothing is exactly the same because we're doing different things for each phase and your body is changing during these phases. So things will be reconfigured and changing in terms of your macros and workouts. But the overall goal is fat loss, is to change your body composition. So a lot of people go in circles with doing a lot of cardio, doing excessive running, and trying to really eat very minimal, and they end up gaining the weight back because they're not really challenging their muscles and they're not eating a lot of food. So when you're not actually building muscle and challenging your muscles, you're just burning calories. So that's good to do, but you want to actually change your body composition in terms of doing muscle building and actually eating enough to build and sustain. So when you're just doing a lot of cardio, excessive cardio, and eating minimal or less than you were, you're just going to revert back because you're not actually building muscle, and you can't continue on forever eating such little amounts of food. So people always gain the weight back. But muscle burns fat, so the more muscle we build on our body, the more our body composition and metabolic change actually occurs, because then you start burning fat more rapidly at all times, and that means metabolic change has actually occurred, as opposed to, like I just said, doing excessive cardio for spurts for a few months and then stopping and then eating more and doing less cardio. You end up gaining the weight back because you're not actually building muscle on your body. So that's the difference between actual fat loss and doing that yo-yo thing that a lot of people do. So, yeah, and a lot of things are completely mental. We get into a routine and a habit of doing a lot of binge eating, of doing a lot of snacking, whatever it is. We get stuck on our favorite sweets that we like to eat, just about every night. It's like it becomes routine and habitual. So there is no restriction, and there's no completely cutting anything out, because if you are doing the proper effective physical training and doing the right workouts that you're supposed to do, it's okay. Go put it back. If you're doing hold on a second. There you go. Sorry about that. So if you're doing the proper training that you're supposed to be doing in terms of the exercise, and you're hitting your macros, meaning you're getting very close to them, and nobody's perfect with hitting their macros, and macros are your calories in terms of carbs, fats, and proteins, which you eat macros every day. So I do not restrict or cut out anything, because if you really want to fit in M&Ms, or you really want to fit in that dinner party that you're going to, that is going to have pasta and dessert, there are ways to fit those in your day. We just have to be more strategic about it. But the goal is to not be eating sweets every single day. The goal is to cut down on that and find alternatives while building muscle and eating mostly nutrient dense food. So there are ways to fit in, like a bowl of cereal if you really want, a bowl of Lucky Charms, or if you really, really want to fit in, a really high carb breakfast. Say you're going to Bob Evans and you really want those waffles and Cool Whip or whatever it is, or muffins, banana bread. It's going to be high carb, high fat. You can fit that in your day, and that's one thing I teach, is learning how to do that without thinking that your whole day is ruined, your whole week is ruined, your whole diet is ruined. Everything in your journey is just ruined. No, because one meal or one snack is not going to ruin your day, especially if you fit it in your carb allotment, if you fit it in your fats macros, and if you fit it better into your day and navigate your day according to that, with fitting that in. So I don't like people to cut out anything or restrict anything, because then they feel like they want it more and then they can't have it. But really, you can fit in some snacks. And a couple days a week, if you really want and are craving, a bag of M&Ms, you can have that, but we have to be more strategic about it, and especially in that day, fitting it in your day better. So I hope that kind of makes sense. It'll make more sense as you train and as you learn. The reason that we do a lot of logging, probably like 3 to 4 days a week, you will log all of your foods as accurately as you can into MyFitnessPal. And the reason we do that is because I can show you exactly where you went over in fats, or what portions could have been resized, and how you could fit in that high carb, high fat dinner better, how you could have fit it in your day better. I can show you a lot of things with what you did and how to readjust them to fit in what you want and to hit your macros better. To get enough protein in and how to not go over your fats is basically the whole point of learning macros, because usually everybody is under their protein and they're over their fats. So, and they're not even in the right calorie bracket that they should be in. So first and foremost, you'll get the calorie bracket that you're actually supposed to be in. A lot of people are way off. They think they should be eating way less when actually they should be eating way more. But with filling that calorie bracket, I teach you the amounts of proteins, carbs, and fats to aim at, because the ratios are usually way off with what people are getting within their calorie bracket. They're usually getting low protein, way low protein, like probably half the amount that they should. And then they're going way over their carbs and fats. So if we can tweak that and adjust that and learn how to do a little bit more of this over here and a little bit less of that over there, you can really make a huge difference with hitting your actual macros and getting as close as you can to them. And nobody's 100% with hitting them. I want 80% of being on track, getting as close as you can for your overall week. So even if you had a really bad day where you were way off on your macros, you can balance it out the next couple days and be really on point and balance your week out. So there are ways to hit your macros over the course of the week without feeling like you ruined it one day and that your whole week is ruined, because it's not the case. So you're going to feel non-restricted. You're going to feel flexibility. You're going to feel educated, and you're going to feel educated on actual fat loss and metabolic change and macros. So these things you'll take with you for a lifetime. So as opposed to just following a meal plan to a T, that's great to do. You could have results. Anyone could have results following a meal plan with exactly what to eat. But the thing is that they don't understand anything about it. They don't even know what they had in terms of the macros and what they were eating, what types of foods they were, and why. And once you start to realize what your macros and calories are, you get that intuitive sense, you get that educated knowledge, and then you know how to navigate your day in that way. You know how to navigate your day more intuitively, and you will see your foods and your meals differently and do everything to hit your macros better. Like if you had a high carb, high fat breakfast, you know that the rest of your day, you're not going to eat a bunch of high dense fat foods like avocado oils, cheese, high fat meats. You're not going to go splurging on those, and you're going to do very minimal with that. And then you're going to fit in more leaner proteins and leaner carbs the rest of the day. So you don't, go way, way over your fats. So you'll start to get that intuitive sense how to navigate your day with your macros. And that's the whole point. You don't want to sit there and log on MyFitnessPal for the rest of your life, because you won't have to. After a while, you will know these things and be able to navigate your day because you know these things. And that's my goal for all of my clients, is to learn these things, is to see how they're eating and how they can readjust things and actually know what their macros are, what complex carbs are, what leaner proteins are, what higher fat proteins are, what their higher fat carbs and lower fat carbs are, and complex carbs. These things are super important because then you actually know how to navigate your day and know how to make meals better and do different portions and add some more different food items in your meals. All these things do make the difference. And like I said, you shouldn't feel restricted if you want to fit in a bowl of ice cream at the end of the day. We can work that in your day. We can work those fats and carbs into your day. So it's a huge relief to people because people do feel like they have to cut everything out and they only have to eat chicken and vegetables, and that's not true. So I hope that makes sense. I kind of went on a tangent because I do that when I start talking about macros and stuff. Okay, so lack of preparation and motivation. Yeah. So a huge thing with actually staying motivated and executing a plan is actually understanding it more. When someone feels like it is going to create results and they understand more about how, people are more apt to actually do it. Because if I'm doing something that I don't think is going to work, I'm not going to do it. So the more I understand it and the more I see how, what, and why, the more I'm actually going to do it because I believe in it and because I understand how and that it's actually going to happen. So a lot of times when people start something, they do stop. And it's because I really don't think they understand how it's working. So it's just not motivating to them. So that my goal is to do weekly training modules with you so you can actually understand a lot about fat loss and all sorts of things that we go over. But yeah, staying motivated is huge. So really seeing your plan, your weekly plan laid out in a more strategic way. And I'm not talking about a food plan. I'm talking about everything that we do during the week on top of the learning part of it. That will all keep you motivated. It will keep you engaged. It will keep you understanding how it's all going to work and how it is working. And the more you do see your body change, that's motivating in itself. But it's also how strong you feel, the more muscle you build, is creating a better quality of life, because the more muscle you have, the better posture you have, the better form you have, the less pain you have, the more support you have on your joints and your body because you have more muscle. So many things come from having more muscle, and muscle burns fat, so it is creating metabolic change with fat loss. So as I mentioned before, that is the goal that we are going to be working on. So you're going to feel more motivated the stronger you feel and the more educated you feel. And you'll see your weekly lineup. You'll see all of your workouts that you'll get on Sunday night for the rest of the week. You'll see all of your workouts that you're going to do, and it's super easy. You just log in and press play, and they are specific workouts devised in a weekly plan that are for you, that has your resistance and it has your cardio with your upper and lower body. So aside from that, we do a lot of logging and charts and training modules, and you'll just get one training module per week. It's nothing that's going to overload you like, oh gosh, I have all this stuff to look over. It's just something, it's pretty quick, maybe like 3 to 6 pages in the training module that I send you, that you just have to look over and really just soak in the information. That's all, because then you'll understand the process better of everything. So on top of that, we do a weekly macro assessment where I will do a video voiceover of going over your macros for a couple days and really showing you how well you did and where we could have tweaked it a little bit differently and did different portions here and there, or swapped out this for that. And it does help, because every little thing that you learn and see helps with what you can do after that. And then we do a weekly check-in. It's a mini questionnaire of just a few things that gets me connected with you, with how you're feeling and what you might need help on or anything. It really gets us on the same level, checking in on a few really important things. And then we do some journaling, some gratitude work, some personal development. It's super huge. It really sets the tone in your day, and it sets the tone in your mind and body and soul, really working on things like personal development. So that was a huge game changer for me and my clients. It's something I hated to do and thought it was stupid, but it was actually one of the main things that changed me and really helped me when I didn't think it would. So this is huge, and it's going to be a weekly thing, something super simple. Even if you read 3 pages in the book that you have, or do 1 page in your gratitude journal, which should take 3 minutes. It's something that's really just going to set the tone in your day and in your mind and body and soul, like I mentioned. So with that, we do a few other things during the week too, but you will see progressive charts with fat loss, with your measurements, with sleep, with steps. You'll see so many things that you're looking at as opposed to not knowing and guessing. You'll see these charts with specific numbers and everything to where you can actually see what's going on, and we can assess that and look at it. So as opposed to not knowing, a lot of times people think they're doing like less than what they are, when really they're doing way better than they thought. So that's super motivating. And a lot of times people think they're doing better than they are, but really they're not, and they need a little kick in the butt to really show them the stats. So it's good in so many ways to really see with your eyes like what's going on. Okay, so usually my clients start out doing 3 workouts a week, and they max out at 5, but the average client is at 4 workouts a week, 3 to 4. And if they are doing all of their workouts, you shouldn't have to do more than 4 to 5 workouts a week if they are effective and you're actually doing them. So don't feel like you're going to be working out 6 to 7 times a week, because that's not the case. And they're usually going to be like 35 minutes max, 35 minutes max, I'll say. Because they're not going to be more than that. So I hope this helped with explaining kind of how I do my programming and what goes on. Everything is done, it's online based. I don't ever meet with clients, and actually it's better to do it this way because I get to basically connect with you at any time, any day, as opposed to just meeting with somebody for 45 minutes at a gym or something, and then I don't really talk to them after that. And like, I don't need to show somebody how to do a workout, because that's why you guys stream these specific workouts, and you're being shown how to do everything and also how to modify. I do mention a lot in addition to the workouts that you're watching. Like, I will give tips and input on what you can do for the workout if you are modifying. And I do go over fitness staples and education as well. You're not just being thrown workouts and not understanding them. I explain to you why, and I explain to you what weights will be best for you, and I do give modifying tips. And like I said, each week you do have each Sunday night I send out your tailored workout schedule to you. So it's not random workouts. It's not a program that you're following. It's what I'm giving you specifically to follow out of that fitness library for the upcoming week. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, just let me know. I think I pretty much went over everything that I do and what we'll be going over and what we'll be learning and training in. And honestly, it's a great way to actually learn and stay on track and really know what you're doing, and to have effective workouts, and how to learn how to hit your macros. I mean, that's what fat loss is. Fat loss is not about excessive cardio and eating salads. It is about building muscle and understanding your body and how metabolic change occurs, and how to really eat intuitively and eat what you love and eat what you need. So there's no misery in this journey. There shouldn't be anything that's just you hate about it, because you're going to see results and you're going to see things changing. So that's super exciting, along with the knowledge behind it. That's the key thing, because then you take this with you forever. So clients do increments of 3 months at a time. I don't do any longer than that. We do 3 months at a time, and then you can sign on again for another 3 months. So that's sort of how it works. And yeah, so I'll wrap it up because I just talked for a really long time. Sorry. I hope you listened to this entire thing. If you did, let me know. But if you have any questions, definitely ask anything and everything. And we will touch base after you send me back some feedback after you've listened to this. So I hope you listened. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk soon.